Hi, my name is Natalie Zimmerer, and I will be presenting to you my company, Food for All. As an undergraduate student the past 4 years at California Baptist University, and now a master's student in the area, I have firsthand experienced the commonality of the homeless population in the area. Nearly every busy street corner has a homeless person holding a sign for food or money, and nearly every park in the Inland Empire consists of more homeless people than children playing. There's an unemployment rate of 4.6% in Riverside County, compared to a nationwide unemployment rate of 3.8%. Specifically, there are over 2,000 homeless individuals in Riverside County. In looking for ways to serve this needy community with a business mindset, I came up with Food for All in order to give back to the homeless, reduce excess waste, and ultimately serve the Lord. Basically, what Food for All is a food delivery service in which takes the leftover food from universities, grocery stores, and households and transfers it to a homeless shelter or place of need for a small monthly subscription fee. As far as company identification though, as I just said, Food for All is a food pickup service which will go around to different places and pick up their leftover food that was not consumed or about to expire. With a small monthly fee, our service will get rid of the leftovers from these locations and provide the opportunity for the community to give back to the homeless. The vans from Food for All will then deliver this to homeless facilities locally. As a college student who often eats in the university's cafeteria, I have come to the realization of how much food is thrown away on the daily. American consumers waste about 1 pound of food per day. This is about 225 to 290 pounds of food per year thrown away. This means that roughly 20% of all food put on Americans' plates is trashed every year. This is enough to feed 2 billion extra people annually. Spotting this problem of food being wasted and conceiving solutions of delivering it to the needy is how Food for All began. As far as our mission statement goes, the mission for Food for All is to eliminate hunger and hardship in our community, as well as reduce the wasting of leftover food from local grocery stores, restaurants, and universities. We will organize the pickup and drop-off, and we will provide the transportation to and from facilities. We will deliver to any services in need of fresh food, including but not limited to homeless shelters, orphanages, and underprivileged communities. We are a local Riverside County organization looking to serve those nearby while also helping the community directly impact the homeless community with a small fee and convenience. As far as our vision goes, our vision is to expand outside of Riverside County and into more needy communities in the United States, because we're very aware that Riverside is not the only place that struggles with the homeless community. Specifically, we would like to branch out to cities with universities, large universities in the area, because this means there are plenty of opportunities to donate food rather than discarding it. We strive to serve the hungry and serve our Lord, for as Christians, we are to serve those in need just as Jesus did. So the Blue Ocean Strategy. This was created for uncontested market space, making the competition irrelevant, creating and capturing new demand, breaking the value of cost and trade-off, and aligning the whole system of the company's activities in the pursuit of differentiation and low cost. So this is important for Food for All because we strive to be successful as possible and to serve as many homeless as we can. As a Christian company, we value the Blue Ocean Strategy because it's reaching a market whom is in need and has not yet been reached. And it's also ethical to reduce costs and increase the value of services offered. This will ensure a fair profit margin. As far as customer segmentation goes, we'd like to categorize 3 different groups of people. The first being religious. We find this important because a recent study from Washington Times has shown that religious people are 20% more likely to give to charity. This allows us to conclude that religious people are more likely to have a heart for the homeless and use our services. The next group of people we're focusing on is people in the age range of 35 to 85. People within this age group are more likely to have a job and or funds to pay for our services. And the last group we're going to focus on are those who have an income equal to or greater than $35,000 a year. These people are more likely to have miscellaneous budgeting for the services that we offer. So this is just a graph to show the average median household income in Riverside County. As you can see, it's increased each year and has obviously risen over these past few years. This is promising to you as investors because this is a common characteristic for our potential consumer. This shows you guys that this group that we're targeting continues to rise year by year in Riverside County. The Riverside County population aged 35 to 85, this shows a steady increase in this potential consumer age group. This is also promising because it's a larger potential pool in which we're targeting. And lastly, this is the religious population, and this has increased greatly from year 2018 to current. According to the census, 46.1% of Riverside County considers themselves religious. This is a great factor to consider as investors because religious people, as I stated earlier, are more likely to give to charity and therefore use Food for All's services. As all these graphs depicts the potential consumer characteristics have increased in the empire, meaning that we are targeting a very valid group of people, and we should pursue this as a business, and this will guarantee success. The industry segmentation. This industry is not yet created, so Food for All will fully emerge in this industry individually and create needs based off of the potential market surrounding us. So first off, the homeless will clearly benefit due to the food items obviously being donated to them. Universities, grocery stores, and homes will also benefit because of our service due to the convenience of our services and the reduction of their waste. And lastly, those signing up for a monthly subscription and pickup service will benefit because their fee will feel to them as they are directly impacting the homeless community, and they will no longer feel that feeling of guilt after dumping fresh food, knowing that this could have been used for a better cause. So as far as calculations go, the profit margin will be 16.7%. And as we know, this is not extremely high, but it is very sustainable. Considering our business is also a sort of ministry, we like to view this as not only profit, but sort of giving back to the community. Acts 20:35 states, "In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way we must help the weak and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he himself said, 'It is more blessed to give than to receive.'" Food for All values profit for the benefit of honoring shareholders. However, we ultimately aim to glorify God and give back to the community in need. As far as location analysis goes, location has an effect on brand visibility and recognition, access to our brands, as well as foot traffic and other connections in the area. So the reason we are focusing on Riverside County are kind of these bullet points right here. The median household income is $63,000, a little bit more than that. And we also have a high unemployment rate. So that kind of shows Riverside County does have the average funds to pay for our services. And we also have enough unemployed and homeless people in the community to give back to. The unemployment rate is 4.6% compared to a 3.8% nationwide percentage, and there are over 2,000 homeless individuals in our county. Churches also surround our area, meaning that we have a high likelihood of people having a heart to serve. And we also do have a large population, so we can reach a large amount of people with our service. So advantages of locating in Riverside are the large population, the high average median household income in the area, and the religious communities in the area as well. So the disadvantages, however, are the two universities in Riverside County. They aren't as big as other universities in California, so we may have more potential somewhere else, but this is a great place to start. And California is a little bit harder to get movements like this passed, so it just takes a little bit of extra work. So this is just one small disadvantage we'd like to think about. As far as corporate structure goes, we feel called to be a corporation, which is defined as a form of business operation that declares the business as a separate legal entity guided by a group of officers known as the board of directors. An advantage of this are shareholders have limited liability. Personal assets are therefore not on the line. However, a disadvantage could be double taxation. More specifically, Food for All will under C corporation, and what that means is that the owners/shareholders, whatever you would like to refer to them as, are taxed separately from the entity. As far as applications go, there are a few that we will have to endure. First, articles of incorporation, bylaws or resolutions, EIN application, federal grant, and the annual application and registration due for the transportation industry, as well as a fictitious business name. And then since we are also in the food industry, it requires yearly permits for this as well. So there are several forms that we will have to go about, but we already have those all organized. As far as social media goes, there are so many advantages. First, it's reduced marketing costs, so we're able to reach more people for less money. It sped up the time it takes to reach a consumer. People are more likely to share and communicate our products and services through the internet. More opportunities to expand globally, reach a large number of people specifically targeted as customers. More traffic to our website, increased customer engagement, more feedback opportunities, reduction of market research, and better networking opportunities. As far as disadvantages go, it can have the potential to ruin our presence in the promotional feed if we do not plan correctly. So we are really going to value this planning process. Time and money can also be wasted without the correct tests and other means, so we will be conducting a lot of pre-tests, focus groups, stuff like that to ensure that we are pursuing the proper company image. Privacy and confidentiality can also be affected and can be made public, so we do have to be careful about that. Additional resources like additional staff, technology, stuff like that may be necessary in order to manage and maintain our online presence. And exposure to like this larger number of people, this can cause a sense of harassment, bullying. This is kind of what we've seen in other businesses. It's not very common, but considering there are more platforms available to the public, there's more positive and more negative feedback that could be made available to us. As far as proposals go, we are going to recommend going the social media route. However, we must establish our company image first and have all platforms align before launching this. We must also hire marketing experts to remain constant on social media and make the right changes in order to adjust to our consumer base. And then finally, preparing the policies and procedures will help Food for All manage the risks efficiently and effectively in the culture that they thrive in. As far as competitive advantages go, first we have Food for All brings to the marketplace intentional relationships with the community. So, with that said, an article in the Irish Times states, "The more closely we are connected to people we love, the happier we feel and the more personal satisfaction we have in our lives." We believe that this is an aspect that society craves, and it is of our utmost priority to kind of bridge that community gap between two different beings. So that's our just basic society bridging with our homo society. This will be rare in our society because although one of our goals is to gain profit, our main priority is to utilize our local waste for the good of the homeless community. And we feel that most businesses focus mainly on profit, whereas we're genuinely looking to help our community in need. This will be hard to copy because businesses tend to focus on profit rather than the underprivileged community. We make it clear that our priorities are rearranged. Profit is important, but it's also important to serve our brothers and sisters in Christ. This is wanted by the consumer because this makes it convenient to bridge that gap that they're craving to build these relationships and get back to our community. This cannot be easily substituted because of the fact that our staff truly aims to serve the needy by bridging as many connections as possible with society. So the second advantage we have is the ability to follow up with consumers on a personal basis. So I actually did a personal survey to kind of understand how important the personal aspect is when donating. And I found that 85% of people I surveyed said they do not feel apt to donating because they do not, to donating to causes, who do not follow up with the donation that they are pursuing. And the third competitive advantage for Food for All is the unique subscription opportunity, offering a leap forward in the innovation process for giving back to the community. With a small monthly fee subscription service, Food for All will pick up leftover food and deliver it to shelters. This will give people a convenient and unique opportunity to get back to their community without having to stray away from their daily patterns. This is rare because not many subscription opportunities allow to actually give back to the community and serve one another. As far as core competencies go, the first one is Food for All obtains reliability. So we guarantee that our trucks will be where they say they are, they'll be on time, and they're guaranteed to serve your monthly subscription purpose. The organization of drivers and deliveries, exceptional customer service, flexibility of the company, as well as remaining technology up to date. So we want to be proficient in all these aspects and lead, capturing a greater share in the market, satisfying the consumer, building customer loyalty, producing our high quality services while we're at that. As far as startup cost goes, we found that for the first 12 months, it will take $445,000 and $500. So to kind of give a visual of this, we broke it up between month 1, month 6, month 12, and total one-time costs. So adding up each of these monthly costs, you can kind of see on the left all the different categories that we are going to have to invest in. And this is every aspect that is involved in the company. So month 1, about $86,000. Month 6, about $74,000. And month 12, almost $63,000. And then we have one-time fees they won't consist of monthly fees. That's about $220,000. So adding all 4 of those aspects up, it will equal about $445,000 and $800. As far as funding channels go, The two leading sources for new business funding, specifically for our food delivery business to the homeless population, would be angel investors and government grants and subsidies. So what we believe is best for this is to first apply for federal grants and then rely on the angel investors. What angels are wealthy individuals who are generally retired from a company or who were executives higher up who invest directly in small firms owned by others. So we're considered a small firm. They are often leaders in their own field who not only contribute their experience and network of contacts, but also their technical and or management knowledge. So in exchange for risking their money, they reserve the right to supervise the company's management practices in concrete terms. This often allows a seat on the board of directors and assurance of the transparency. So with that said, we will focus on federal grants and subsidies first, and then we will rely on these angel investors. Yeah, we do have significant potential though, since it does involve the homeless population for federal funding opportunities. There are a few grants that we are applying for, and we do think we are likely to get these grants because of the homelessness being a common threat amongst American communities, and specifically in Riverside County. So total startup costs are calculated to be $445,800. With that said, the cost of a monthly subscription fee would be $30 a month, $5 variable cost. We would need to sell about 19,432 units in order to cover the startup costs. But however, we project to sell more than that. We project to sell 22,023 units. So this would lead to a profit in the first 12 months of $64,000. This is where we got our 16.7% profit margin, and this is, we would do a 5-year span to pay back our angel investors. So this is our break-even analysis graph. As you can see here, the fixed costs remain the same, that's the blue line. Operating costs, the orange line, slowly increase, and the sales revenue has a significant increase. So where sales and total operating costs meet at this red dot, it's 19,432, which this is the number that we found of the number of units that will need to be sold in order for the company to pay themselves back. Every sale past this red dot will be the remaining profit for the company. So to conclude on this presentation, with our delivery and subscription services, we are the bridge between those who want to donate and give back to our world and the homeless community. We have the capability to not only feed the needy, but also reduce waste while we're at it and connect individuals, businesses, and universities with a convenient opportunity to spread the love. Ultimately, the Bible calls us to give back to our brothers and sisters. We want to help with this by giving a little push to those who are willing. Proverbs 3:27-28 says, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, 'Come back tomorrow, and I'll give to you,' when you already have it with you." We must act now as a community to extend God's grace to those who need it and spread love to anyone and everyone. We are starting in Riverside County and have the goal to expand nationwide in order to better serve our communities across the United States and ultimately spread the gospel. Here are some of the references, and thank you for viewing this presentation, and we hope that you would be willing to invest in our company. Thanks.